have two important, inputs needed from you. The first one being the need of CFA and FRM. And the last would be the parting notes would be on what you would really suggest, maybe 3 or 5 things which you feel that yes, freshers cannot miss if they want to come into the financial specializations or financial industry or function. So before I move on, I would just like you to let us know some inputs on these two areas.
So yes, I would say like CFA and FIM, they are becoming very popular these days. So I would say these certifications are, I would say, definitely good to have on plate. But I would not say that these are the necessity. Like if someone has studied like very well during their MBA and they are confident enough that
Okay.
they know each and everything. So I think the basic cusp of this is like how good knowledge that you have. If you're gaining that knowledge from doing CFA, that's also good. Like if you're getting that knowledge after doing FRM, that's also good. Even if you're studying the MBA curriculum very seriously and you are just updated like with the new advancements and like the new technologies, so then also like it's fine. If someone is having good hold on all the basics and all the instruments that we use in finance world, and they are good with all the legal terms that we use and all the laws. They are good with like IFRS standards. They are good with GAAP, and I think then there is like no need of CFA or FRM. But definitely, uh, like these things add to the CV. And if you are kind of like going into a consulting role, then CFA and FRM I would say is very advantageous because in at times how consulting works is wherein like one firm is doing the business for other firm and they present your CV to the client firm. And so these things too, like CFA, FRM, like if you have these things, definitely this look good on your resume. And like it makes it easier for consultants to shortlist your CV in comparison to others. So that's where I think these certifications does comes into play because it helps to sell your resume, I would say, in very simple language. So definitely, yes, these certifications do add a lot of advantages, and definitely, if you are a CFA charter holder, the kind of exposure and the kind of community in which you will be is way better. So you get to kind of like connect with folks who are studying, and I think you get in like you always stay in touch of studying and refreshing your knowledge. So I would say yes, definitely it's good to invest in yourself and study like as much as possible. Of course, if you have a good like knowledge in MBA, it's not a must thing to do.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Okay. And do you think this fetches more money also during the job offers or the salary negotiations?
I think I would say like this totally depends on the candidate, like how confident and how knowledgeable he is, and how the interviewer is looking forward to work with that candidate. Like if they thinks that they definitely want this person to join their team, definitely they will also pay a little extra to get
Okay.
that person onboarded. So
Okay.
definitely, I think it stays. It depends on like what you are saying in the interview and how like you're creating your impression while that interview, and how the interviewer feels, like your attitude is. Because I would say even if a person is having little less knowledge but is very good on like attitude, and if the interviewer can gauge that, definitely they would know that okay, that they are hiring an asset. And of course all these skills can be transmitted, but definitely to build a good hardworking and I would say honest attitude that the person should have in the finance industry is I think also a place where interviewers definitely look for, because they would say okay, even if a person is like 40% knowledgeable but like the attitude it is like somewhere like 80 to 90%, I think the person would be a must go,
One.
because they know that okay, this is the guy like who will be an asset to the firm in long run.
Okay. So you mean to say the transferable skills and the attitude really matters along with the technical skills in the market today?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Okay.
Because even if you know that someone is like too knowledgeable but has that attitude of like not being flexible, not uh, have an attitude of like switching jobs very frequently, or even if someone has like attitude of misbehaving also. So these
Okay.
are the things like which are not at all acceptable in these industries. So definitely like attitude matters a lot.
Okay. And you were also talking about some strong finance IT knowledge in the early stages of your job, though you have already explained a lot of certifications, about Excel also. But what additional you feel is a must for people specifically related to finance IT knowledge when you go for the financial jobs in the market?
Yeah, the first thing I would say is like everyone like should have basic finance knowledge where they are good with the basic concepts, like even as basic concepts as time value of money, how they are calculating VAT, weighted average cost of capital, CAPM, all these things, of course, should be a mandate, like how comfortable they are with basic accounting concepts before going into like an interview. Definitely, these are the basic questions which someone would check and ask like in the interview to the freshers. Apart from that, the areas like which are checked is like how good a person is in Excel or any other additional tool. So
Okay.
having a good finance knowledge plus having a good working knowledge of Excel, having a good working knowledge of Tableau, having a good working knowledge of Power BI is, I would say, like very essential if you want to build a strong career in finance. And definitely, if someone has small certifications like which do not take a lot of efforts, so there are tools like Bloomberg. So there are certifications for Bloomberg wherein like you are wherein in like in good B schools, I would say like there is already a Bloomberg terminal, but Bloomberg terminals are not in every B school.
Okay.
So so those like who do not have access to Bloomberg in their college, I think definitely I think they can take an extra step and do
Okay.
that Bloomberg certification. That also adds to their resume, and as and also like it shows like how up to date you are like with the industry standards, because Bloomberg is a tool like used almost every like in every investment bank. They use like Bloomberg as their primary tool to fetch the data for the
Okay.
FX rates or for any instruments like which they are using. So definitely a Bloomberg certification is a plus, which they
Okay.
can do. Certifications like which are available on National Stock Exchange. This is something like which person can do, because these are not something like which will take a lot of effort and lot of investment initially, and these are some quick wins which the candidates can do, and like it adds to the resume. Also, if they someone can do like minor certifications on uh, Excel, I would say courses like related to SQL as well, because in finance industries like SQL is very important. Like if they're good with writing the queries to fetch the data and to modify the data, that is also like very essential. So these are I would say the strong these areas like should be strong. If you're strong in these areas, then I think definitely the folks are job ready. Definitely one should know how to like use the Microsoft Office package completely, which includes like Excel, Outlook, Word, Access, because they would be using like other, of course, like Excel would be the major use, but they will there can be cases like where they are using MS Access. So
Okay.
many firms like they use Access as the database instead of using SQL for a certain business segment. They can be using Access. So if they have good command on Access as well, that would be a plus. And definitely like one should be good with using Outlook. One should have like basic email etiquettes, like how to write these emails, and because these are the things like which won't waste time for the person like who are training them, because they know that okay, like they are tech savvy, they are good like with emails and stuff, they are good with using Word, PowerPoint, all these tools. So it makes the training process while onboarding the candidates like very smooth.